Hey there, welcome to another edition of What Barrie's Talking About from Barrie 360. I'm Dan Blakely. On this week's program, holiday weekend coming up. A lot of people driving to cottage country, taking day trips, or just running around. CAA has completed a driving habits survey, finding most in Ontario are adept at pointing an accusing finger at other drivers, but not back at themselves. This was a big deal when I was a kid in the 70s, had its own weekly TV show, Roller Derby. It's still around. A couple of Simcoe County teens have made an impression and will be helping to represent Canada at next year's Roller Derby World Cup in Scotland. We'll meet them. 300 ladies will get down and dirty this weekend at the Dirt in the Skirt slo-pitch tournament at Barrie Sports Complex on Highway 26. And even if you're not a soccer fan, you probably could not help getting caught up in the World Cup fever, that contagiousness translating to new and renewed interest in kids and adult soccer locally. We'll check the pulse on the pitch. We get the conversation started after this. This is What Barrie's Talking About from Barrie 360. I'm Dan Blakely, joined by Michael Stewart, Community Relations Consultant, CAA South Central Ontario. Welcome to the program, Michael.
Thank you so much for having me, Dan.
CAA has just completed a survey that found 96% of Ontario drivers pointing fingers at other drivers for dangerous driving behaviours, but only half of them pointing the finger within. What's going on here?
The survey shows us that most drivers can recognize dangerous driving behaviors when they see it, but the challenge seems to be recognizing it in ourselves and making that small behavior change that can help keep everyone safe. The results of the survey are a good reminder for drivers to take a moment and think about our own risky driving habits. So whether that be speeding, distraction, unsafely changing lanes, or aggressive driving, and make the choice not to engage in those. And by being conscious of them and avoiding them, we can help make a meaningful difference on Ontario's roads. And ahead of the long weekend, I know a lot of folks will probably be driving through Barrie, maybe to get up to Muskoka. It's a really important time to remind drivers of the rules of the road so they can travel safely.
I think back to when I went through driving school a long, long time ago, and some of the habits that I picked up, good habits from the learning process, and I think I still have a lot of them. I know I've helped my grandchildren and my children learn how to drive, and I pass some of that on to them. But what happens to us over the years? Do we forget? Do we not care? Or do we just go with the flow?
Sometimes if we have been driving for a while, we get comfortable in our habits and maybe we take a few more risks because maybe we've done it once and we weren't caught or nothing happened and we get comfortable maybe doing that again. And rules also change over time. Ontario is constantly updating legislation and changing penalties. Some different rules of the road have come in. So it's always really important to refresh yourself in what those rules of the road are. And then even just being conscious of your own driving habits. So we may not realize that maybe we've crept over the speed limit or that we're looking at our phones quickly, but it's really important to realize that anything that takes your attention away from driving can put yourself and others at risk. So it's really important to focus on the road, and that's really kind of what we saw with this survey. And that's what's important. Road safety is a shared effort, and it's not just about pointing fingers at other drivers. It's about recognizing our own behaviors and changing that for the better.
Is there something we can consciously do? I mean, you talk about reviewing our behaviors and stuff, but I guess we have to kind of consciously say to ourselves, am I still driving the way I should be?
So the good news is in our survey, we asked drivers who admitted to speeding what they did once they realized, and a majority of them did slow down once they noticed that. So it's really about being conscious, checking your speedometer, seeing how fast you're going, seeing what that posted speed limit is, and making sure that you're traveling within it. So we may not fully realize we've crept up over the limit, but it's just really important to be conscious of that, avoiding distractions as well. Obviously, it's not just our phones anymore. There's infotainment systems, whether that be wanting to change music, change direction. It's just really important that we're setting everything up in advance before we drive and giving ourselves plenty of time as well.
And I suppose if there is a good time, choosing the right time to make any adjustments while you're driving, like not when you're on a curve with a bunch of other traffic, I guess, or in a crunch of traffic when you've got some wide open roadway. Maybe that's the best time to do that kind of thing if you're going to do it.
If you do need to make any adjustments while driving, obviously, yes, trying to find if there is that right opportunity, if it is a minor, if oh, it's getting cold in the car, I want to turn down the AC, little things like that. If you need to do anything major, if you are traveling on the highway, pull off to your next exit and make any changes then. Come to a full and complete stop in a parking lot. Maybe it's a good time to take a break if you've been driving for a while, so really utilizing those opportunities where you have come to a stop, whether that be a pit stop to get a coffee, utilizing those to make any kind of adjustment.
Being familiar with your automobile is important too. For instance, you can be driving down the road, watching the road, and you want to, as you mentioned, change the air conditioning, turn it up, turn it down. You can often reach down and find that button without having to look for it because you're familiar with the vehicle. But if you're driving somebody else's, I know if I've borrowed a car from somebody or I have a car rental, the first thing I do is where are all the buttons. I need to know where everything is.
That's correct. It's very important to be familiar with your vehicle, whether that is a rental vehicle, a brand new car that you've just gotten, you're borrowing someone else's car, or even your own vehicle, making sure that you're familiar with it and knowing how it works. Even familiarizing yourself with what the various alerts might be. Our cars are becoming very smart nowadays and have various types of alerts that go off. So just making sure that you're familiar with what those are so they don't catch you too off guard while you're out driving. And then also making sure that you know what to do depending on what that alert is. It's also important too before any big road trip, especially with the long weekend coming up, making sure that your car is ready. So whether it be filling up on gas, getting everything stocked up, having your emergency roadside kit ready to go, having all of those things prepared ahead of time can help make your travel safer and easier.
Very good. Michael, thanks for the insight today. Thanks for the advice, and hopefully we get through this weekend relatively unscathed.
Worries. Thanks so much for having me and safe travels this weekend.
They go by Coleslaw and De Gremlin. Their real names are Peyton and Danya, a couple of local girls who skate in the Simcoe Junior Roller Derby League and who have been chosen to skate for Team Canada at the 2027 Junior Roller Derby World Cup in Scotland. They stopped in to chat with our Julius Hearn about how they got started and where they plan to take it.
First off, thank you both for coming in. Really appreciate it. It's a really cool thing to see some local athletes, get on the world stage. Doesn't really happen all too often in the Barrie area, so it's nice to see. First off, for both of you, how did you guys get started in roller derby?
My mom, played. She's played for 10 years, so I just kinda took after her.
And then when I was 7, I went to one of my friend's birthday parties, at the roller skating place in Aurelia, and her mom played roller derby, and I really enjoyed roller skating, so she brought me to practice one time, and ever since then, it's been the sport for me, so
For those unfamiliar, I know it's a really physical game, and it takes a lot of work. How would you guys describe the sport for those who are unfamiliar?
Really rough, a way that I've always described is rugby on skates, but without a ball.
yeah, the jammer is like the ball, and you're going through all these people, and you're constantly getting hit, and it's probably one of the most physical sports that I know.
What would you guys think the sport has taught you most since you guys started playing it?
Community is really important, and support is number 1. Being able to be a supportive teammate for everyone, people on other teams as well, is what is gonna get you the farthest.
Probably the same as Danielle, derby is really community-based, so
So when you guys made the national junior team for the World Cup, I'm sure that was a really exciting moment. What was your reaction when that news came along?
There was definitely a lot of emotions. There was laughing, there's some crying, just a lot of emotions. It was a really great memory.
Yeah, we immediately texted each other, and we were just so happy that we both made it because that was one of our like, what if only one of us makes it? But when we found out that we both made it, it was really special.
What does the selection process look like for a team like that?
So there's 2 tryouts, one in East and one in the West, and then it's just kinda there's only 4 people make it because we have 2 teams. We have an open and a girls team. Um, so yeah, there's just 2 tryouts
I think there was 100 or more people who tried out
in the
in
West.
yeah, in the West, and then here,
I think it was
I think there was 40. So
Oh,
40 of us made it overall.
so you guys are in special company for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's in Glasgow next year. As you were telling me off air before, it's in July next year. What are you guys most excited about heading to Scotland?
I would say making friends and meeting people all over the world who share the same passion as I do.
Making friends as well, and then also just, like, seeing, like, new places. Scotland's really beautiful.
What does it mean to kind of to represent Barrie in this area as on the world stage as we were talking about earlier?
It means a lot because not a lot of people get to this level, so to have us do it, it's really special, and we gotta represent Barrie.
Yeah, it's really an honor and it's really important because I feel like it shows that you can do anything if you put your mind to it and you put the hard work in.
You guys talked a little bit about kind of your origin in the sport. You know, when was it that you guys decided this was something you were going to pursue at the highest level possible?
I think in 2023, the juniors were going to France, and I realized that was something I could do, and some people that I really look up to this day were on that team, and I just really wanted to do it. I really wanted to follow in their footsteps.
Yeah, to compete at a national level, the moment I realized I wanted to do it was also 2023, probably when I was watching the World Cup online. And I just thought that looks so fun to be able to experience that doing what you love. And that's when I kind of realized I think I want to try that.
So I know you guys are trying to fundraise as much as possible to get you guys to Scotland. You know, what kind of costs are you guys raising funds for specifically? Obviously, travel's a big one, but I'm sure there's others that are really important as well.
So it's completely funded by yourself. There's no like team funding going into it, but we have to pay for jerseys, armbands. We all have the same helmets. Obviously the traveling like you mentioned, and then cost that when we're up there. Um,
We also have to pay to go to practices. So
oh,
I think it's in Alberta, it's in the West, so that's, like, that travel cost as well as hotel fees and equipment costs.
I'm sure it's like a training camp structure. I'm
yeah,
sure for
Yes.
that.
3 days long.
How often does that happen between now and the start of the tournament?
I think there was
There's gonna be 2 mandatory practices,
yeah.
and they're probably gonna be 3 days long, like a training camp. One's gonna be here out in the West, and then the other is gonna be probably Alberta, but it'll be the East, it will be here, and then out West, it'll probably be Alberta. Those are the 2 mandatory ones, and then there might be some other ones in between that, but we don't know specific dates or anything yet, but it'll be within the next year.
So how are you guys trying to raise funds, and how can the community come to your guys' aid and support you?
We currently both have GoFundMe set up as well as company sponsorships, and honestly, anything really helps.
Aside from the financial aspect, you know, what's been the biggest challenge you guys have faced on your journey to this point?
Probably just staying positive. It Going into the childhood was really nerve-wracking, not knowing what to expect, but we've just tried, staying as positive as we could, and I think that was the one thing that also helped, just having an optimistic mindset on whatever happened, whether we made the team or didn't.
It was probably the same for me, um, as it was really nerve-wracking. If you don't stay positive, like, with Team Canada, everything is a waiting game. We're waiting for the tryouts, we're waiting for to find out, and you really have to stay positive and stay committed to the sport while waiting for that and being nervous, or your chances are gonna plummet.
What do you guys hope your biggest takeaway is going to be?
Just making memories and having fun, doing what we love, while also hopefully winning maybe.
I hope to take as much experience as I can from this. We have a lot of talented skaters on our team as well as on our coaching staff, and I really want to take that back to my home team as well as just take it and improve my skills.
What does the journey look like beyond the 2027 tournament in terms of, you know, moving forward in the sport for you guys?
I will be trying out for 2029 as I am still eligible. I'll be just freshly 18 at that time.
Yeah, the World Cup is every other year, so I'll be aged out as I'm turning 17 this year, so I'll have started my journey with the adults, and hopefully that will give me some more experience as well.
Really appreciate you guys coming in. It's really cool, as I mentioned, having some local athletes on the world stage, and I wish you guys the best of luck
Thank
in
you.
Scotland next year.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much for having us.
From the Derby to the Diamond, going to get some dirt in the skirt this weekend. 24 teams, 300 ladies, looking like they walked out of the movie A League of Their Own, taking part in a charity slo-pitch tournament. Barrie 360's Ian McLennan getting the pitch from founder Jenny Hasty.
You've got another charity event happening on the Civic Long Weekend,
Yes.
July 31st through to August. Tell us about that and maybe a bit of a history, too, to how this all came together.
Yeah, so in 2024, I just put out a small post on my Facebook, seeing if some ladies, I'm part of the Barrie baseball community here, slow pitch community, asking if anybody would be interested in doing a tournament with our dresses, make it a charity tournament. We had such a great reaction. We ended up having 12 teams sign up in 24 hours and ordered some really cute dresses, like from A League of Their Own. Also to honor the ladies from the All American Girls Professional Baseball League from the 1940s. It was such a hit. We raised $2,300 for the CMHA, Simcoe County chapter, and we had a big wait list, so we doubled the teams last year. We had 24 teams, so 300 ladies come out, and we raised $6,000 for Hospice Simcoe. We're doing it again this year, bigger and better. We are actually expanding to Niagara Falls in October. So that's another tournament with 24 teams. But this one coming up in Barrie, July 31st and August 1st. 24 teams, and we're going to be raising funds for the Women and Children Shelter
Here in Barrie.
here in Barrie.
And, of course, CMHA, Canadian Mental Health Association. So where do the teams come from? Are they all local or?
Mostly, we have a few out-of-town teams.
Okay, that's good, though.
Yep. And in fact, we actually have a team coming from BC for our Niagara tournament. So that's going to be really fun to see them. And they're flying in and playing in our tournament.
Yeah, people may not be aware that the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League lasted, I guess it was from 1943 to 254.
Yes.
When you initially started this, did you think it would blossom like this so
Not
quickly?
at all. Not at all. And just recently, especially, we have been putting out a lot of really fun videos. So yes, we started a brand new league up at the Tree Nursery Diamonds every Tuesday, and we have 6 teams. We have kind of taken a little bit of banana ball style rules and the choreographed dancing. We choreograph ourselves. It's super authentic. The ladies have the best time. I always hear everybody leaves super happy after Tuesday Night League. We do a live stream game on our YouTube channel as well, a featured game. And it's just, I could not have imagined where we're at now back in 2024 when we started. The league wasn't even, a thought in my mind. But we've just had so much demand and ladies that just want to come out. You can be any skill level, which is the nice part about our league and our tournaments. It's for every woman. It can be brand new or experienced. And it's just to uplift, empower community, and with our tournaments, raise some money for local charities.
And the league has
organizations.
6 teams?
The league has 6 teams, yes.
And are you looking like most other leagues to expand? Or
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We think that a few ladies and teams maybe have a little FOMO and haven't because they didn't get in at the beginning of this season. But it is a trial. It's really nice because we're all building it together. So I think that now with the attention that we've been getting in the media and social media and everything, we more than likely will have more teams in Barrie, and we're getting a lot of requests to bring the league and tournaments to many different cities in the United States and all across the world, really.
Wow, so it's really, really blossomed. And for the
Yes.
tournament itself that's taking place over the Civic Weekend, how does the public get involved in terms of donations? Is there an admission cost? And what will the day look like?
Yeah, so there's no admission cost. It's free for anyone to come out and check it out. The Friday night, we have 3 games going on. It's kind of the start of the round robin. The reason that we've actually expanded to 2 days this year is because one of the biggest forms of feedback that we got from the ladies was that they didn't have enough time last year to enjoy everything that we have. So we're just doing a 3-game Friday night, and then Saturday is going to be the fun day. So we've got all of our teams, 24 teams, 300 ladies coming. We're going to have karaoke on stage at the main pavilion area. We have competitions for the ladies. So we're going to have a home run derby, pitching competition, tug of war, and then, of course, lots of different like raffles and awards and prizes, merchandise that anyone can purchase. And it's all obviously going to support the Women and Children Shelter. We're also asking for donations for things that they need the most, which we'll have a post up on our socials soon about.
I assume I shouldn't, but I do assume you've seen A League of Their Own
Yes.
a couple of times,
Yeah,
more or less.
just a couple of times. Yeah, there's no crying in baseball. This is obviously a huge part of the inspiration behind the Dirt in the Skirt, and then again with Banana Ball too, with the league. So we've kind of taken little pieces from those things and made it our own.
And did you play baseball when you were a kid?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was actually one of 2 girls on rep fast pitch team when I was a teenager. And that was hard. That was really hard. I definitely didn't feel super welcome. And I think that might be changing big time these days. You know, women's sports is actually growing so much, and there is a new professional women's baseball league starting up in the United States. So there's actually hope for younger girls, you know, to turn their passion and their love for the sport into something more. For us, you know, we've kind of missed that boat, unfortunately, but fortunately, we have Dirt in the Skirt now. We can watch the younger girls playing. We can inspire younger girls to keep going with their dreams. And then, you know, when you get older, if you want to kind of go into slow pitch, we're here.
And you are slow pitch. And
Yes.
do why do the women come out? Is it all for the love of the game, or is there the boundaries go beyond that?
Oh, definitely it goes way beyond that. We have such a great community. The whole point of it is empowering and uplifting women, women supporting women, and it's again, it's for everybody. You can be brand new or very experienced. We've got experienced ladies that are helping brand new ladies learn how to swing the bat. Even the umpires are helping out the brand new ladies, and it's just a safe place. It's a really safe place. And we all come together. We actually, unfortunately, had one of our ladies was in a terrible motorcycle accident a month or so ago, and we all banded together, and everybody was helping to raise money for her family. You know, gift cards, helping with gas and food and everything. So it's just, and these are all just women that just met. So it's really nice to see that support from everybody all around.
Okay, so it's just taken off, and
Yes.
everybody's come together and
Yes.
to make this happen. And I
Mhm.
guess bigger, maybe a team from the Dominican Republic or the U.S. Maybe you never.
Yeah, we've had requests from Cuba, Dominican Republic, Australia, all over the United States. I mean, it would be really cool to just start chapters all over the world, and that kind of seems like the direction that we are going in.
Soccer has hit the Barrie area big time with the success of the Simcoe County Rovers and big things happening with TFC2 coming to town. A lot of this fueled by the recent World Cup. Our Julius Hearn reached out to Barrie Soccer Club Executive Director Will DeVellis for a bigger picture of what's happening on the pitch locally.
With the World Cup, I don't want to say it's put soccer back in the spotlight, because I think, you know, people should be watching the national teams at, you know, Nations League and Gold Cup and stuff like that. But how have you seen the excitement of the tournament translate locally?
Yeah, I think soccer excitement's always been there. I think this is just more heightened now, obviously with the World Cup. You hear about kids and people and families, going out to spending large money to go and watch World Cup games, right? I myself was out to a couple of them, and I think that the World Cup has just literally helped the focus on football in the city, and everyone's just super excited. Like, I think what we see a lot too is with the Barrie Soccer Club, especially like when you have major events like this in soccer, we start to see like larger registrations, kids getting more interested in soccer and wanting to play the game. Everyone's glued to their TVs, right? So, and then everyone wants to be a part of it. So that's what we're seeing right now.
You mentioned you went to a couple of games. Which ones did you get out to?
I was the first one, Canada and Bosnia at BMO Field, and then I was fortunate enough to fly out to Vancouver and catch the Canada-Swiss game. Obviously, not the result we wanted, but an incredible atmosphere. I saw not too long ago on social media a video of back to 1986 when Canada was in the World Cup for the first time, and like just the lack of like interest or following, right? Compared to what I saw, especially in Vancouver, was just absolutely incredible.
I think I saw the same thing and vastly different, 40 years later. You mentioned the registrations. I think that's a big part of this. historically, how much does a World Cup, not even just with Canada hosting, but a World Cup, how much does that lead to more registrations, more interest in Barrie?
Yeah, I think a World Cup, obviously being like the world's sport and the biggest sporting event on the planet, usually does see a jump in kids registrations and kids that want to play. Could be anywhere from 5 to 8% per in that particular year. It's really really big, to be quite honest. I think a Canadian Canada hosting the World Cup. We anticipate being even bigger, to be quite honest. It's no different than when the Raptors won the NBA championship. We actually saw a decline in soccer, and I know that basketball saw an increase, right? So I think it goes with the trend as to what's happening in the world at that time. As a club, at the Barrie Soccer Club, like we are seeing emails every week or phone calls every week about people saying, "Hey, we're moving to the city. Do you have time or do you have space for my child to play? Is there a team that they can play on?" So we're seeing those inquiries all the time.
I know that's really exciting to hear that you're getting that kind of interest right away. But from families that haven't really considered soccer before, how much are you hearing from that kind of part of it?
Well, I think that in our recreational divisions, especially, people are reaching out saying, "Hey, like it's my kid's first time they playing. What can we expect?" And a lot of times, like we'll offer them like why don't you come in and try it for the first time? Like you don't have to pay anything. You just register, come on out, try it, see if you like it. The last thing that we want is to tie somebody down if their child's not enjoying it, right? So we give those opportunities to kids that want to come out and try out for the first time, whether it be through a training session or a recreational session. And then if they like it, hey, you know what? Jump right in and get rolling, right? So we do that to give them the opportunity to test it out.
I'm not sure if you have the numbers readily available or maybe even have them prepared yet, but what are participation levels looking like this year compared to last?
Yeah, so the last 3 years at the Barrie Soccer Club, we've actually jumped a full capacity or full registration of 21% year over year for the last 3 years. This is just exploding for us to a point where we're requiring additional fields. We're requiring additional indoor time for training, whether it be different facilities like gyms or domes, right? Like we continue to see it at a clip of about 21% over the last 3 years. We anticipate that again this year is going to be even bigger, heading into like our fall registration.
What age groups are you finding that are the best represented, and what are seeing the most growth?
Yeah, like so our U9 to like U13 age groups are just exploding to a point where um, you know it's difficult to kind of keep up at times because you need more volunteers, right? You need more coaches, you need more facilities, you need more equipment, and all of that. But it's a really great problem to have. and we're navigating through it. But our we look at it as like we don't want to turn any kids away, right? And we know that in the past we've heard other clubs, like, and I know maybe even more specifically through COVID or coming out of COVID, where some clubs didn't have the capacity. We went with the philosophy of like leave no kid behind, and make space where we can make space. And for this year, especially, what we've done is we've actually combined some age groups as well, to make more teams, make smaller rosters, to create more teams, to give kids more opportunities. So it's been a great summer so far, and we like I said, we look at the future as being going to increase more in registration, and more kids coming forward.
Yeah, amid this explosion of popularity and participation, how much are you finding that affordability might be an issue for some families?
Well, I think soccer still is the probably the cheapest sport, in the world, to be quite honest. When you look at, I know players that play hockey, they talk about their, rental rates on the ice and their equipment extremely expensive. With soccer, it's a pair of boots, it's a pair of shin pads. We supply the uniforms, at the recreational level, especially, and it's still, somewhat cost effective. We obviously do have, programs where we are able to support families, with third party support groups as well. We have bursaries at our club, that we provide, to families that meet the requirement. Again, it's just really falling within that philosophy of like we don't want to leave any kids behind.
Also, with this explosion in players and popularity, I think it also begs the question: what does growth in coaching look like at your guys' level?
Yeah, so we have a new technical director, with our club. His name is Jerry Pennant. Has a history of working with the national program in Canada. Actually, it was not too long ago. Was just spending some time with the U17 and U20 national team. Also, the Ontario provincial coach, for Ontario, and works closely with Ontario Soccer. He's also a coach mentor, for Ontario, so he does a lot of like coaching certification courses and stuff. So we're really, really, fortunate to have him as part of the Barrie Soccer Club. He also plays a part in the Simcoe County Rovers, and one of his mandates is coaching education. So it's been fantastic for our club to bring all of our recreational coaches and our competitive coaches together, under one mandate of one coaching philosophy, and really trying to elevate our coaches within our club. For example, like this year, something that we've never really done in the past that he's kind of brought forward is even in our recreational groups. We brought in all of our recreational coaches, made sure that they were all first aid certified, all paid by the club, for free, to ensure that the kids that are on the field with these coaches, are going to be safe, and taken care of. They're provided coach education as far as, the different technical things that they need to be working on. And then from a competitive coach standpoint, it's a lot of the same. He does a lot of like, classroom sessions with the coaches, on field sessions with the coaches, and we're always pushing our coaches to become better and take the next certification level.
Are you finding that there's enough people to run these different youth programs like you have? You mentioned earlier, kind of creating smaller roster teams to be able to have more total teams to manage the added participation levels. Are you finding that there's enough people out there that are willing to take the helm of some of these youth teams?
So it has been a bit of a challenge, because of the growth, on top of the fact that the Ontario soccer matrix has changed. So in certain age groups, roster sizes were mandated to have smaller roster sizes. And that's all part and parcel of making sure that kids are getting more touches on the ball, because the more kids, less touches on the ball. So with that comes now you've got to create smaller rosters, which means you need to create more teams to fit everybody in. And then you need more coaches in order to coach those more teams, right? So it has been a bit of a challenge, but there's been an incredible response from the community, and the registrants and the parents of the registrants. We've provided incentives, for our recreational coaches, to come forward. Like we can only go as far as our volunteers take us, but there's been an incredible response, including to the incentives that we're providing, and a lot of really great people are stepping forward. So we're really proud of that.
What are some of the other biggest challenges that you guys are facing this year, even with that big boom in popularity?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenges for us are probably heading into the winter time, with the lack of like indoor facilities. We're competing with other sports for like gym time and dome time and so on, which kind of takes us to like our project that we're currently working on at the club. The club has invested $7.2 million into renovating our clubhouse, as well as the fields at our club. Um, we're hopeful that come late fall we'll have shovels in the ground. We've committed to a full size dome at the Barrie Soccer Club, as well as a full sized artificial turf, which will enable us to basically run our own programming, ensuring that our members are not having to travel to other municipalities in order to train or to play. We can all do it right here in our own backyard. So it'll be a huge help for us and our members. And we'll have the ability to be able to schedule our teams for training at respectable times because right now we're kind of the lowest on the totem pole when we're renting out of municipality, and we don't always get the times or the amount of time even that we need.
You mentioned the investment from you guys, and how much are you getting from the city, if you're able to share that information?
So, we're happy to share, and it's public knowledge that we have partnered with the township of Springwater because our clubhouse is actually located in Springwater, and council there at Springwater has been incredibly supportive. Of this project, they want to see infrastructure. They understand that infrastructure is what the township needs. They also understand that a good chunk of our registrants do come from Barrie as well. We're kind of right in that middle ground, right? But they also understand that they play a big part of this happening. So they haven't like this is being fully funded by Barrie Soccer Club.
Okay.
They've guaranteed our loan. We've had four major financial institutions that have come forward and said, "Hey, we want to do this with you," and we've landed on one that's been a really great partner so far with us. It's kind of unheard of, right? When you have a non-for-profit club that is looking to put a $7 million investment. There's not many banking financial institutions that want to come forward and say, "Hey, we'll do this." But our club has been so financially sound that the banking institutions have come forward and said, "Yeah, this is great. We'll jump on board with you."
I'm sure that's a really exciting development. What kind of features are you guys looking at in terms of the planning out for when this build happens?
Yeah, so again, like I said, the dome will be a full size dome. We are going to be renovating our clubhouse as well, and we're going to be tying the dome airlock system into the clubhouse. We'll be expanding our change rooms to include showers and washroom facilities. Our goal is to really, make this a new home for Barrie Soccer Club players, a new home for the Simcoe County Rovers. So, that dome itself is going to be a huge part of the infrastructure that we're building. But the other piece is the outdoor turf field that we're going to build. It's all going to be fenced in, high security, and it's going to be highly usable for not just the Barrie Soccer Club but other user groups within the township and the city. We've had a lot of user groups already come forward to say, "Hey, we're really interested in using your facility once it's all said and done." And then obviously with this announcement, TFC2 coming to Barrie, we've already had some preliminary talks about our dome being kind of that training ground for MLS Next Pro, with the opportunity for Barrie Soccer and Simcoe County Rovers to also play a part in the usage of the stadium as well. So a lot of really exciting things happening.
You're hoping shovels get in the ground later this year. When's the target opening for your dome?
So our target opening is when we're going to need it the most is hopefully October, November of next year. That's our target. Right now, we are on target for that target. We've got all of the approvals that we require. We're just headed into our site plan approval now to be submitted. So things are looking really, really good.
Before we go, I want to get to this year's clubs because I think obviously the women have been incredibly impressive this year. They've, as we're recording this, yet to lose a match. And it's been kind of looking like potentially a repeat championship season. How have you liked the women's team so far this year?
Yeah, fantastic. Like I, watching them week in and week out, they don't ever cease to amaze us. Even just this past weekend, I think they beat the NDC, which is our National Development Center team, which is the cream of the crop when it comes to young players. Always a really great club, great team to play against. But yeah, our ladies have been fantastic. A lot of them came back this year because they knew what was coming down the pipe as far as potential Canadian championship that they get to play in. We're still waiting on some news there. Should be coming out shortly. But a lot of them came back this year, kind of gave up jobs back home in BC or wherever they are from. And some of them kind of forewent their education and put their education on pause to come back for this. To come back for it and, knock on wood, hopefully repeat here is amazing. It's not something that is done, regularly. So to be able to do it potentially as a back-to-back is an incredible feat.
I think that goes to show also just how tight-knit the group is as well, because you saw it last year and how kind of close they are, and that kind of put them over the hump, I guess you could say, in terms of getting that championship.
Yeah. They like to, they're labeled as mentality monsters, right? That's what we call them. I don't know if they're gonna hate me for saying this, but they've got this unique little thing that they like to do before game days, and they get together and it's always DQ. It's DQ night the night before game day, and they hang their hat on that, right? And to your point, like it's a really tightly knit group. The nice thing is that that's our OPL 1 group that's gonna obviously make history again this year. Our OPL 3 group, which is our second women's team at the Rovers, is also 3 points out of winning the league division this year in OPL 3. So the pathway on the women's side right now is extremely strong. We know that the men's side as well is a very young group, very talented young group. They're in every single match and competing. And we knew that some point down the road that we were going to have to get much, much younger. We're pretty sure that at some point the women's group will be that as well. But that's what we want, right? We want that because it's going to afford opportunities for the players that are coming through Barrie Soccer.
Touching the men a little bit there, because obviously a very different season than the women, but you mentioned they're much younger. It's kind of I don't want to say a rebuild, but maybe some fans might look at it and see it that way. What's the next steps here for the men's side?
Yeah, I think we keep plugging away the way that we're going here. Like I said, like they've been very, very competitive this season, and that's where growth comes from, right? You're putting some young players in those particular scenarios, and they're learning from experience, right? And we have a really great up and coming group from the Barrie Soccer Club on both the men and the women's side in the 2009 age group right now. We call those two groups kind of like the next groups to step in. So we know we're going to be young, but again, it's an incredible learning experience for the players. This men's group is going to continue to get better as we go along, and they've got some really great coaching that's happening. With Randy Ribeiro, has an abundance of experience. But yeah, we're really excited about their future.
Well, Will, thank you again for coming in. Looking forward to a lot of big news coming down the pipeline, and hopefully we'll see a women's championship yet again later this month.
Thanks for having me.
Time.
And that's our program for this week. Thanks to Ian and Julius for their input, to Gio for his technical expertise and getting the word out, and to you for listening. If you like what you've heard, please subscribe to What Barrie's Talking About. You can also keep up with What Barrie's Talking About on Blue Sky and X at Barrie360, on our website Barrie360.com, and there's our daily Kickstart podcast available from any streaming service and on our website. I'm Dan Blakely. Hope you'll join us again next week.